everyone. I am Sean, and welcome once again to my Horror Corner. As always, thank you so much for watching today. And to those of you who have continued to hit that subscribe button, special thank you to you. You guys support. I know I say it all the time, but I mean it. You guys' support means so much to me. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And today, we're going to continue along with this Welcome to Derry series that has everybody talking right now. I feel like it's getting better each series. So we're going to talk about episode 3 today as we get ready for episode 4 to be coming out tomorrow, I believe. So yeah, super excited to talk about this today. Like I said, I feel like this series just keeps getting better and better. Sorry, my dog is barking. She wants to chime in as well. But yeah, Miss Bell, we're okay, girl. I do apologize. She's all wound up today. So anyway, let's get into Welcome to Derry episode 3. Let me grab my glasses so I can read my notes here. But, we start off with a little bit of a flashback from what's happened so far. And then we get into a flashback from 1908 as we see a young General Shaw. He's at a carnival. We also get a shot here at this carnival of a couple of twins. One of the things I talked about from episode 2 was that tie-in with the introduction of the Halloran character from The Shining. So I wonder if these twins are also, I didn't look it up. I started to, and I'm just like, God, this is probably just me reaching now at this point. But we get a shot of these twins, and I wonder if this is also has something to do with the twins from The Shining. Maybe not. I don't know, but they kind of look like that to me. So I'm wondering if this is more like Easter egg type things going on here with possibly mixing up it and The Shining a little bit, which I think is so cool. It really has me intrigued. It may not go anywhere, but it really has my attention. So I'm very curious as to where that is going to continue to go. We also see that General Shaw's father gives him a slingshot, and we know how important slingshots are in the It universe, right? So thought that was really cool that we kind of get that. But then as he's in this carnival and he goes into this one attraction, he gets very spooked by this old man with one eye. Scares him. He takes off running out of there, ends up getting with his dad again, and they leave. From there, he ends up meeting this young Native American girl named Rose, and the two of them then spend some time together. She mentions a slingshot he has. They're playing around with a bunch of other little kids, and General Shaw runs into the forest. I keep saying General Shaw, he's a kid, but he runs into the forest, and Rose tries to stop him as she sees he's running into this forest. She's telling him, no, don't go, but he gets in there anyway. Once he's in the forest, he sees this old man again. But now this old man turns into this wicked looking creature. It's pretty creepy looking. And this creature starts chasing him. And just as it looks like this creature is going to capture him, Rose shows up, shoots the creature with this slingshot, which gives him enough time to get away. And they're able to run and escape this forest. And that's our opening scene. I really like this opening scene. I think it's really good. I like, again, the possible Easter egg with the twins. I like the slingshot coming into play because, again, we know how important that is in the It franchise. We're going to get more of the slingshot throughout this episode. I think it's creepy with this old man creature that comes about and starts chasing him. I think this is a really good opening. I think it does a great job of starting this episode and just, kicking things off great. Because like I said, my interest in this series just continues to grow, and I'm finding myself more and more plugged in, especially after this episode. So really like the opening to this one. From there, we do cut to Lily. We find out, she's still in this psychiatric hospital, but she's about to be released. We also see that she's formed a bond with the nurse. So we get a little bit there. From there, we then cut to Chief Bowers. He's talking to Hank in the jail cell. And we kind of get the idea that he's trying to get Hank to confess, even though Hank continues to say he's innocent and has nothing to do with this. You can really tell Bowers is pushing and trying to get Hank to confess to the murders of these children. We then end up cutting to Ronnie in the school. Excuse me. We get to Ronnie in the school. We see that Lily is released now because Ronnie's being picked on. She's got to be bullied in school. People are giving her a hard time about her father being arrested and possibly being a child murderer. Lily shows up and talks to Ronnie and says that, okay, she's sorry and she will finally tell the truth about everything that she saw. And her and Ronnie also agree that they're going to have to come up with some kind of evidence, though, because them just telling people what they saw, nobody's going to believe them. And so they need to get evidence as to this thing, this creature, whatever it is, and what's going on. And they're going to use a camera. They're going to try to take pictures of this thing and hope that will do what they need to do. But they also talk a little bit about how neither one of them really know how to develop the film, so they've got to figure something out. Um, we then cut again to General Shaw now as an adult, and that they found. We find out that they really got no evidence out of this car that they found at the end of episode 2. Um, General Shaw wants to use Halloran and his abilities, whatever those are, to try and help figure things out. And so then we see that Halloran, Major Hanlon, and Major Hanlon's friend Polly are sent up into a helicopter, and they're just kind of told that wherever Halloran tells them to go, that's where they need to go. Um, we cut back again briefly to 1908, where we see the young Shaw and Rose talking. They've gotten out of this forest where they were being chased. Rose tells him that they're safe now, that this creature cannot leave the forest. Um, Again, now we cut back to the helicopter. A lot of cutting back and forth in this, which sometimes bothers me. I'll be honest, when there's a lot of cutting back and forth between present circumstances and past circumstances. That's bothered me in other movies and television shows when there's a lot of it. Sometimes I think it's too much and it makes it a little bit hard to follow. But it's not bothering me here. I think it's really good, and I'm liking the way this story is being told. So we cut back, like I said, to the 1908 time frame where a young Rose and a young Shaw are talking about this creature in the woods. As we then get back to the helicopter, as we come back to that now in present time, we see that Halloran starts to have this vision. He's starting to freak out basically in this helicopter, and he starts having a vision. At one point, we actually get to finally see, even though it's not the actual character himself, but a drawing of the character of Pennywise on this gate that Halloran approaches. We see Pennywise on this gate, and then this gate opens. And as Halloran steps inside, he starts to have a vision of a lot of soldiers dying. They're floating in the air. He sees, I believe, like his deceased grandma, I think, at one point in there, telling him he needs to get away, he needs to run. He's freaking out and ends up opening a door and almost falls out of the helicopter, but Major Hanlon's able to save him. We then cut to Shaw and Halloran talking afterwards about what he saw and what was going on up there. Halloran tells Shaw that he feels like they need to stop this because it's not going to end well. That whatever they do, whatever they discover, it's not going to end well. It's going to turn out really bad. We do then get another cut. We cut back to Ronnie and Lily now, and they recruit Will and Rich to try to help them. They know that Will knows how to develop film. And so they talk to them, they kind of tell them their plan and what they want to do. So they recruit them for some help. We then get back to General Shaw as he goes now as an adult to talk to Rose at a pawn shop that she works at. And with Rose being Native American, her people are not happy about these digging that the military is doing. They're very concerned about what they're going to find. We've discovered through some other talks and conversations here and there. And so General Shaw, even though he tells Rose that she can trust him, he lies to her about what these excavations are for. He tells her that they're just trying to find a place where they can lay pipe and do that kind of thing. So he's telling her that she can trust him, but we see that he's lying to her at the same time. She tells him that she will talk to her people. And she can't make any guarantees, but to see if they can allow them to have access to more of this land around this forest area. We also get them, we get another flashback then of those kids where we find out that they've spent all summer together. But Shaw ends up telling Rose that with his dad being in the military, that they're about to be leaving. And so she gives him the slingshot back, and he asks her to please never forget him, but she tells him this town has a way of making people forget, and that's kind of something that's been hinted on in other conversations. Even in their adult conversation, they're talking about how he did forget, and he had even forgot her name until he saw some paperwork and they were doing these excavation things. So yeah, people getting away from Derry to forget, which was a thing in some of the other It movies as well. So yeah, interesting things there. We then go back to the kids, where Rich is telling them that he believes this thing is a spirit, that he had learned some things from stories about his uncle and how to conjure these spirits up, what these spirits do, while they're not all bad, most of them are very evil. And so the kids kind of come up with a plan that they need to find a way to try to bring this thing out so that they can get their pictures. And he mentions to them that one of the stories he heard was that his uncle had to go to a cemetery to do some of these things. Before going to the cemetery, we now move to Halloran has gone to Major Hanlon's house to have dinner with he and his wife. And while everything seems to be okay, at one point Halloran asks Major Hanlon about Will, which you can kind of tell throws Major Hanlon off a little bit. We then do cut back to the kids at the cemetery trying to summon this thing. We find out that Will has just heard, or excuse me, not Will, Rich has just heard a lot of these stories that he's not even sure if this is going to work. And so some of the other kids are kind of frustrated with him. Yeah, there's my dog's opinion again. We do then cut back to the conversation between Major Hanlon and Halloran. Hanlon asking him what happened on the helicopter. He also mentions that he never told Halloran that he had a son. He tells Halloran to stay out of his head. But Halloran tells him that, one of the things he knows is that Major Hanlon is not afraid. Hanlon also mentions that he knows Halloran was there, that he was one of the guys that were there the night that he was attacked. But Halloran's trying to assure Major Hanlon that he's not a threat to him and that he really wants them to be together in the trenches. And then we get back to the kids at the cemetery where it looks like that this whole thing has not worked. So they start to leave. But as they're leaving, we start to see tombstones changing. The cemetery begins to fall apart. Like the ground is breaking up. There's a lot happening. Each one of the kids has some very close calls. Almost spirits are following them around and almost getting them. They lose their camera multiple times, but are able to, different ones of them picking it up here and there. Pretty fun scene, pretty exciting scene. I don't know that I would say it was scary. I don't think these spirits look scary. I guess they could, because they do look evil and torn up, and you see it some of these kids that have been killed and that kind of thing. But I just don't think this looks scary. It's still a fun scene. I just don't think it looks scary. But as they get out of the cemetery, they realize that Will is still behind. He has gone into a tomb, and we see something come after him and him snap a picture real quick, and then it cuts back to the other kids. But they go back and they end up finding Will. He's got the camera. They're able to get out of the cemetery, and then they go to a school to develop this film. And as they're developing this film, they realize they have pictures now of these spirits, and that they think they can use this to try to help get the dad out of prison. But the last picture they develop is a picture of Pennywise. And, they're all trying to figure out why, like, who is this clown that they see? And that's the end of episode 3. Overall, I think this is a really fun episode. There is a lot of, like I said, of cutting back and forth between present time and past time. We change scenes a lot, getting different views and find out different, all of the different side stories that are going on with the different characters. But I think the episode's well paced. I think it does a good job of keeping us interested in each aspect of the story. I really like, again, the introduction of the slingshot. Still wonder about the twins, if that's more of a tie-in to The Shining. I like what they're doing with the Halloran character. I'm just so curious about this part. And then again, the kids working together and trying to find, out what's going on. And now we're getting, 3 episodes in, we haven't actually seen the character of Pennywise, but we see him on a gate, and now we see a picture of him. So we know Pennywise is coming. I know that's been one person in particular that I know is watching this show. That's been their frustration with it, is not seeing Pennywise yet. And I understand that, because I was kind of thinking the same way, but I really just like the way the story is playing out. I like the way they're doing this and putting this all together. And we're starting to get some hints now at Pennywise's arrival. So maybe we'll see him in episode 4. But overall, I'm still really enjoying this. Like I said, I feel like I'm enjoying it more now that we're 3 episodes in. I think each episode is getting better. And I am very intrigued and very interested. So, I'm curious what you think. If you're watching this show, leave me some comments. Please hit the like button, first of all, on this video. Leave me some comments letting me know what you think about Welcome to Derry so far, 3 episodes in. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Leave me some comments. I really want to know what you think about Welcome to Derry so far. And I love the interaction with the horror community. So, please give me your opinion. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so. I've got a lot of great episodes coming out. I didn't bring my calendar in here with me where I can tell you exactly what's coming, but I'm trying to think. I know Episode Jeepers Creepers 2 with Sarah from the Final Girls is coming. I'm going to be talking about the movie Ready or Not. I have other episodes coming on Thanksgiving. I mean, it's that time of year, so I've got to talk about that movie. Um, yeah, just episodes coming on Alice Sweet Alice, Halloween 2. Robbie and Kelly from That Horror Couple, we discussed the first Halloween movie back in October. They're going to come back on. We're going to talk about Halloween 2. So, yeah, a lot of fun episodes coming. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Again, please hit the like button on this video today. Leave me some comments. Follow me on social media. I'm on pretty much everything out there: Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, X. I have a letterbox. So, yeah, follow me. I do try to follow back as much as possible. If you haven't subscribed yet, again, please do so. And yeah, until next time, I will see you soon.